Hello everyone, welcome back to Drawing from Home. I'm going to be your host once again, Miss Dillon. So, today what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to draw 3D houses. So my 4th graders, you guys kind of already know how to do this, and I say kind of, you know how to do this. But we're going to go ahead and go through some more details, not just for obviously 4th grade, but for my 3rd and 5th graders watching too. Now, what we're going to go ahead and draw here today is kind of similar learning to what we did with the 3D block letters, if you watched that video. If you haven't, go ahead and take a look at it. It is in my channel. But if you haven't and you don't want to watch that one, totally fine. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to still go through how to do it, even if you didn't watch the other video. So, to start out with, is everything about this has to do with what we call perspective. And perspective, simply put, is how things look in relation to where you're standing. So usually when people draw houses, or, think about drawing a house, is they do it sort of, oh, it's too small. They do it kind of like something like this, right? Garage, that sort of thing, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, but what if you want to draw the house when it's like kind of facing the other side, if that makes sense? We're going to learn how to do that. Make it look more three-dimensional, okay? So when you get your paper out, make sure that it's long ways this way, okay? Make sure it's not the tall way, make sure it's the long way, all right? Now the first thing we're going to do is I would go ahead and get a ruler for this one. If you don't have a ruler, that's okay. It just might be kind of hard with sort of the, there's going to be a lot of straight lines in this one, okay? If your lines are wrinkly though, it's not the end of the world. We're learning how to do this. So, what we're going to start out with is basically the regular old house face. Okay, so what you're kind of used to drawing. So we're going to start with the left side of the house here. Oh, it's a little too thick a line. I'll start here. Okay. Make it long ways this way. So all you're going to do is draw a rectangle. This is going to be where the front of our house is. So like where the door is. Alright. So once you have that, we're going to draw, as stated, the door. Right about in the middle. And again, just doing regular old lines. And it might take you a couple tries. Like, you'll probably see me erase a lot as I'm trying to find the middle of this square. That's okay. No worries. Remember, sketching is how we're basically trying to feel out the picture. Okay, we're trying to find this picture in between our pencil strokes. So if you mess up, it's totally fine. It's what you're used to. It's what we're supposed to do. There's going to be our door. And let's go ahead and draw our windows. So our windows, let's go ahead and put them right about here. I'm trying to make them all the same size if you can. If you can't, if it's kind of hard to, that's okay. And I'm just going to do 4 windows at the front. If you want to do more, if you want to make a crazy house, that's cool. Make a crazy house. It's your house. It's not mine. I'm going to fix up these areas where they didn't connect. Start here. Alright, so it should look something like this. Now, there's a big negative space in here. So all that blank space. We're going to kind of make kind of like a front entrance almost, if you want to think about it like that. So what you're going to do, once you have all your windows, and like usual, if you're not caught up to me, take a moment, pause the video, finish up your windows or your doors or what have you, and go ahead and draw what you need to. Alright, so once you're ready, we're going to make a straight line like this, straight line like this. And it's almost going to sort of box in our door that we have, okay? And now that I'm looking at it, I'm gonna make my door a little longer, a little taller. Something about that doesn't seem right to me. So once you have that, yeah, that's a little better. Once you have the lines, you're gonna do another window in the middle. So something like this. And I'm gonna make it a little tiny smaller. Not too smaller, but just a tiny bit bigger. Or smaller than the other ones. Just something like that. Right? So you're probably thinking, alright, Miss Dillon, this looks like a bunch of weird rectangles and it does not look like a house. You'd be correct. It does not look like a house. But it's the building blocks for a house. Right? Think of us as architects. But to make it look more like a house, we're going to do the following steps. Is once you have everything that you're happy with your windows, and I'm just going to erase anything that I'm not happy with, what have you. So once you're ready, we're going to go ahead and start doing the roof. So because our house is kind of be facing to the right, so, and this is going to be kind of hard to visualize until I start drawing it, but I still need to say it anyway. It's going to be coming out from this angle, okay? We're going to draw the roof, because usually when you draw a roof on a house, it's going to be like this, right? On a cartoon house. We're not going to do that, okay? We're trying to draw the roof from the side at an angle, okay? So what you're going to do, just trust me, okay? We're going to start at this edge, do a diagonal line pointing up like that. And you're going to let it go. And you go to the other edge, and as best as you can approximate or guess, you do the same angle and the same height as the one that you just did here. Make sure it's not like this, or like this, or like this, okay? Make sure it's about the same. And it's going to take you a couple tries. I'm going to warn you now, but that's okay. Alright? So it should look something like this. Almost like a little antenna coming off of the roof. Then what you're going to do is you're going to draw a straight horizontal line connecting these two. Alright, so you see here, my one here is a little short, so we're just going to connect it like that. Alright? Okay. So, now that we have, this is all we're going to do for the front, okay? Except one more thing. Now that we have this, is we're going to go ahead and draw sort of the front entryway of our house. So, you're going to do something very similar with what you just did with the roof. We're going to go from this edge to a rectangle here. Now for this one, you're going to be allowed to do just like almost think about this middle part as like a regular old house. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do, sort of the triangle top. So something like that. Okay? So you might start seeing it kind of starting to come together a little bit, right? Just a little bit. But we're still missing quite a lot of things. So, what we're going to do now is, let's go ahead, yeah, we're going to go ahead and start this part. So, perspective, okay? We're going to draw this part of the house. But because it's to the side, it's going to be sort of like slanted. Let me kind of show you guys an example here. 1 second. So here's a house, right? So everything from this side of the house is just like straight on. It's a regular old house, okay? But do you notice on this edge of the house how everything, let me make it a red, how everything's kind of at a slant? You see that? And do you notice over here, everything's on a straight line? Do you see that? So what this means is that everything on this side of our house is going to be slanted in some sort of way. Okay? So what we're going to go ahead and do, and that's because it's perspective. This is called what we call one-point perspective. Now, one-point perspective has to do with something called the vanishing point and the horizon line. So before we begin doing this side view, is we're going to draw a line. Now, this is going to be a very, very faint line, okay? I'm going to make mine in gray. See how faint that is? I'm going to make mine in gray. So we're going to erase it later. Okay, just so we remember to erase it later. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw what we call the vanishing point. So I'm gonna move my house a little bit over. If you need to get another piece of paper and kind of place it to the side of your paper, what can happen sometimes is you run out of room for this, but that's okay. And we're gonna do a dot at the very, very edge of our paper until it's almost touching. So it should look something like this. Okay? If you need to rewind that a couple times to watch what I just did, go ahead and do that. So again, we're just making a very faint line, about a little lower than the middle of our house. It's gonna be like here, and then do a dot. So the horizon line is where the sky meets the grass or the ground, okay? The vanishing point, so like where the sunset comes up, right? The vanishing point is basically where it's going to tell us what sort of angle we should do our horizontal lines, okay? So like this. Okay. So, once you have that, let's go ahead and continue. Is we're going to make everything over here connect to this line. Now, you're probably thinking, what in the world does that mean? Let's start. Okay, we're going to start at this bottom edge of the house, and we're going to connect it to our line. Now, keep in mind, when you're doing this, draw very, very light. Otherwise, what's going to happen is when you erase, because we're going to erase part of this. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. But again, draw very, very light, please. Okay, we want to start here too, the very top, the edge of our roof, and connect it. Okay, so notice this is angling up, right? But this one's angling down. That's fine. That happens with perspective. Okay? So make sure that's angled just as long as you can do it in a straight line, pointing here. That's all you're going to do. Basically, think of this as a connect the dots game. Okay? Now, once we have this part, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do a straight line. Actually, yeah, we're actually going to do this part of the roof next. So we're going to start at this edge here. Okay. And draw this one very light again, so something like this. Like that. Okay. So, take a moment, look at mine, look at yours, see how that looks. Okay. Alright. Now, this looks so weird. We're gonna cut off where the side of the house is and basically know where to erase the rest of the lines that we don't need. So just trust me. I know this is kind of confusing, but just trust me, okay? We're gonna make a straight line going all the way up until it touches this line here. Okay? So one more again. Straight line going up. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this line, the top of this line, and we're going to connect it to the top of the roof, like that. You guys kind of see that? So one more again. We're going to connect it to here. Now make sure, what people always want to do is they want to go like this. Don't do that. Don't do another straight line. You're going to do a diagonal line connecting here to the top of the roof. Okay? Alright. What we're going to do is we're going to erase this part of the line here. Just so you guys can see. And you can start erasing all the other lines that are not... Basically, keep this line. Okay? Erase all, and then like... keep here and here. Keep these 3 lines. Everything else you're going to erase. Okay? Because we don't need them anymore. Oop. Keep the horizon line and the vanishing point for right now, because we still need to do the windows. Something like this. Redo that line because I accidentally erased it. Like this. You guys see that? Look at that, you got the side of the house now. Okay. So, the next thing that we're gonna do, now that we have the side of our house, so we got basically have this part right now. Right? We got that part. We need to do the windows. Okay. So, we're gonna do the same thing. First things first, let's do the vertical lines. The vertical lines are easy. They're just gonna be the same. Just gonna be the same. I'm actually gonna put this up a little bit. It doesn't look quite right to me. Nope. Okay. So vertical lines, remember, straight up and straight down. And then I'm gonna do a door here, like a side door. So something like this. Okay. So you're gonna have lines like that. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the rightmost line, so these guys here, 1 and 2. You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna make sure that you point it to a line like that. Line connecting the dots to that vanishing point. Okay? And you probably see an issue here with the lines that we just did for the other half of the window and door. Don't worry, we'll fix that. So again, just this one. Connecting. Okay? So again, let me do that one more time. So the top of this one connecting to our vanishing point is going to be a straight line. It's a diagonal line, but it's still straight. Okay? So like this. Alright? Now let's go ahead and fix any inconsistencies. So obviously here we're going to erase this. Because this is the top of our window, so the top of the other side of the window isn't going to stick out. So it's going to go like that. Let's reconnect. Like that. Connect that up a little bit. So something like this, okay? And then what you're going to do, just like last time, is you're going to go ahead and erase the extra lines. Erase this here. That there. Here. Okay. And what do you know? We got our side doors and our windows. Okay, do you guys see that? You see the slant? Okay, so see for our example ones, you see, so now that we have the slant going, we got that. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix anything that looks a little weird. I'm going to make this window, let's make that a little bit more, save that, that's fine. Just double checking my perspective, and you'll probably have to do this too, as you are, yeah, it's fine, as you're going along, fixing anything that looks a little funny. Perspective is pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie, but you guys have been doing so great, I figured I might as well tell you guys how to do a simple house. It's look really nice. Okay, and once you have that, there you go, look at that. So the last thing that we're gonna do, a couple last things, is we want some dimension to this part of the house. So all you're going to do a small diagonal line like this, starting from the edge of here like that, and then you're going to take the top of this and just connect it, and that way it looks like it's kind of jutting out of the front of the house. Okay, now let's go ahead and add some details now that we have the perspective stuff done, the hard part. Now let's do this fun stuff. So for the door, of course, you can do a doorknob. Oh, let me do my other pen. There you go. Doorknob. You can do window panes, so you can do stuff like this. Now, we're just doing the front of the house, if you noticed right now. This. Look at that. Not bad. Now, for anything, so the vertical line is going to be the same, okay, and the door is going to be the same, like that. Do the very edge. Now remember, any horizontal line is gonna slant, okay? So if you want to do window panes on the side, you're going to slant it the same angle as the top part. So you see that? So So you're not going to do it straight like that. That looks incorrect. Make sure it's slanting with the rest of your window. Okay, just like that. Look at that. Now, that's basically how you do it. One last thing, if you wanted to go ahead and draw like wood stuff, like you can go ahead and draw straight lines throughout to make it look like it's made of wood. Let's go ahead and do that real fast. It might take you a while, but that's okay. Art takes time. So something like this, if you want to make it look like it's made of wood. Just remember, these are horizontal lines, okay? And if you're going to the side of your house, it has to slant along with everything else, because otherwise it's not good perspective. So see how this is going to slant? Actually, I'm going to go ahead like this. Slant like this. You guys see that? Like that, okay? And then you could do like shingles for the roof or something. I'm just gonna leave that for right now. Yeah, not too bad. And then you could do shingles. Shingles are pretty easy. You just do straight lines, or straight diagonal lines like this. And then you're just gonna go ahead and cut them up, almost like a checkerboard. Like that. I'm gonna leave mine blank, I think. Kind of like the blank idea of that. Oh. And that is how you draw a house in 1 point perspective. It's called 1 point perspective because there's only one point of the horizon line, so the vanishing point. 2 point perspective is much more difficult because you have 2 vanishing points and it can get a little tricky. But we're not going to do that today. But that's about it. Of course, you can go ahead and draw a background. We're going to go ahead and color it. Let's add our horizon line again so we know what to color. And I'm going to go ahead and crop this down just a bit. So we're mostly focused on the house. Okay. Mix that up a bit. And you can go ahead and color your house now. I'm going to make mine just a regular colored house. I'm just going to make mine maybe like a wood cabin kind of thing. But it's up to you what you want to do yours. You can make it a rainbow house. It's up to you. I don't know. Put unicorns on it. Okay. But that's about it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do the grass. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I forgot the other side here. Hold on. That's why it didn't work. Nope. Some technical difficulties. Alright, something like that. And then blue. Yeah, not too bad. And then, like I said, you could do your house whatever color. You can do it your own house if you want to. Think about what color your house is. My apartment's honestly this kind of off-white color. But so I'll kind of keep that color, I think. That's kind of nice. I will color in my windows, though. Definitely not green. That looks a little weird. Something like that. Oh. And if you want to, you can make the things over here a little darker, because it's kind of more shadowed. And let's see, sort of a darker, browner, blacker color for my doors. Yeah, so something like that. Oh. got some silver doorknobs. Like that. And what you can also do, let's see, go here, darken this area here, because that's shadowed, it's going to be underneath. You can draw curtains inside, the windows, that kind of thing. I'm trying to think of what color the roof is, my apartment. Black, maybe? I don't know, I'll do it the same color as the doors. A little bit of a drab looking house, but that's okay. Something like this, and color the side here. Oh, that don't look right. That. Color that in. Just make sure as you're coloring, make sure it's the right part of the house that you're coloring. Okay, something like that. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm gonna fix this perspective super fast, because that's not right either. So see, even I mess up on perspective. It's tough. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's a very, very important thing to know, especially when you're drawing three-dimensional things like houses or cabins or what have you. Letters. Alright. So I'm pretty happy with this, I think. Let's make these gold, actually. I'm gonna make these gold doorknobs so they kind of stick out a bit. Yeah, I like that. But that's basically how you draw a three-dimensional house. Okay? So I hope you guys had fun. Again, I know this is a bit more of a difficult project, but it's super important to know. Go ahead and practice this a couple times. You could do this with pretty much any sort of house. You can make a really tall house, you can make a really fat house. Kind of give it a go, just as long as you're going ahead and doing that horizon line and vanishing point trick. Okay? So, I will see you guys next week. If you have any pictures to show me, I would love to see anything that you've drawn. If you want to go ahead and email that to me or Mrs. Tavernia, that'd be awesome. Okay? Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!